Menchaca Cardinals. I'm Mrs. Hernandez, and I'm the new kindergarten counselor. I am excited about joining the Menchaca family, and I cannot wait to meet each and every one of you. I was so excited when I got invited to read for Tucked In Tuesday. So I had a really hard time selecting a book, but I went ahead and went with one of my all-time favorite books that I've had for 13 years. Now, before I begin reading, I want to introduce Nico to you all. Nico is a Shih Tzu, and he is our family pet, and he is 2 years old. So he's going to sit here and enjoy story time with us. Now, when I show you this book, I want you to see how there's tape here on the spine, and there's tape here. There's tape on the pages because Ms. Hernandez has had this book for a really long time. Mrs. Hernandez has had this book since her first year of teaching, and it's going to be 13 years that I've been in education. So it's so important to make sure you take care of your books so that your books don't have to go to the book doctor to fix boo-boos, right? Okay, so The Three Little Tamales. Let's look at the cover of this book. Now, do you think this book is fiction or expository? Let's review what fiction and expository mean. Fiction is when something is fake, it's not real, it can't really happen. And expository are true facts, true information, real information. So let's look back here at the cover of this book. What do you think this book is? Fiction or expository? Yes, you're right. This book is fiction. It is not real. We eat tamales, right? We do not, tamales don't build houses. They don't wear glasses. They don't put on lipstick. So in this story, The Three Little Tamales, hey, wait a minute. That title sounds so familiar. Does it make you think of another book that has been read to you or that you've read? Think about that for a little bit. The Three Little Tamales. 1, 2, 3. The Three Little Tamales. Yes, you're absolutely right. Kiss your brain. This title is very similar to The Three Little Pigs. Exactly, you are right. And this story is very similar to The Three Little Pigs. It has the same sequence of events that occur in The Three Little Pigs. There are three characters here that are brother and sister. There's a big bad wolf in this story, just like in The Three Little Pigs. And the Three Little Tamales, they build houses, but they call them casitas, right? And casita is house in Spanish. So let's go ahead and get started on our story. The Three Little Tamales. Well, and as I'm reading, I want you to think about the differences, how the Three Little Tamales are different from the Three Little Pigs, and how the Three Little Tamales is the same as the Three Little Pigs, okay? Try to make some connections with the book. Once upon a time in Texas, there lived a couple known to all as Tío Jose and Tía Lupe. Tío Jose and Tía Lupe owned a taqueria, a little restaurant. Everyone said that Tía Lupe made the best tortillas and tamales in all of Texas. Every morning, she wrapped the tamales in corn husks and steamed them in a pot. When they were done, she put them by the window to cool. One day, Three Little Tamales saw a tortilla rolling by. "Where are you going?" they asked the tortilla. "I'm running away," the tortilla told them. "If I stay here, someone's going to eat me. You'll be eaten too. You'd better run." "We don't want to be eaten," the Three Little Tamales said. They decided to run together. They jumped out the window and ran down the road before anyone knew they were gone. The first little tamale ran until she came to the prairie. She breathed in the smell of sagebrush. I want to live here, the first little tamale said. She built herself a little house, a casita, out of sagebrush and moved in. She went to sleep that night surrounded by the sweet smell of sage. The second little tamale ran until he came to a cornfield. He listened to the rustling cornstalks. That sounds like music. I want to live here, the second little tamale said. He built his casita out of cornstalks and moved in. He went to sleep that night listening to the music of cornstalks. So this is very similar, to the three little pigs. They went ahead and built their houses. Now, these houses weren't very sturdy, were they? The third little tamale ran until she came to the desert. She saw cactus bristling with thorns. Cactus will make a strong house. The thorns will protect me, the third little tamale said. She built her casita out of tough, prickly cactus and moved in. She slept soundly that night, protected by cactus. Do you guys think that this house is well protected? Yeah, I agree too, because you know what? If I was the wolf, I wouldn't want to climb that house at all or even touch that house because of the thorns. Well, the three little tamales lived happily for a time. Then one day, who should come trotting by but Señor Lobo, the big bad wolf. The first little tamale saw him coming. She ran inside her sagebrush house and shut the door. Señor Lobo walked up to the house. He looked in the window and said, "Señorita Tamale, por favor. I want to come in, so open the door." The first little tamale replied, "Señor Lobo, muy lindo. I'm sorry to say I won't let you in, so please go away." Señor Lobo answered, "I'll huff and I'll puff like a Texas tornado and blow your casita from here to Laredo." Did that recurring phrase sound familiar to something that was said in the Three Little Pigs? Think about that. Then he huffed and puffed until he blew the sagebrush casita to pieces. But the first little tamale got out just in time. She ran to her brother's house, the one made of cornstalks. The second little tamale saw her coming. He opened the door and let her in just as Señor Lobo arrived. Señor Lobo walked up to the cornstalk house. He looked in the window and said, "Señor Tamale, por favor. I want to come in, so open the door." The second little tamale replied, "Señor Lobo, muy guapo. I'm sorry to say I won't let you in, so please go away." Señor Lobo answered, join in with me if you want, "I'll huff and I'll puff like a Texas tornado and blow your casita from here to Laredo." Then he huffed and puffed until he blew the cornstalk casita to pieces. But the two little tamales escaped just in time. They ran to their sister's house in the desert, the one made of cactus. The third little tamale saw them coming. She opened the door and let them in just as Señor Lobo arrived. Señor Lobo walked up to the cactus home. He looked in the window. He knocked on the door. "Ow!" he yelled as the cactus thorns stuck him. Then he said, "Señorita Tamale, por favor. I want to come in, so open the door." The third little tamale replied, "Señor Lobo, muy tonto. I'm sorry to say I won't let you in, so please go away." Señor Lobo answered, join in with me, "I'll huff and I'll puff like a Texas tornado and blow your casita from here to Laredo." ahead and try. I don't think you can, the third little tamale told him. That made Señor Lobo angry. He huffed and he puffed, and he huffed and he puffed. He huffed and puffed until he was out of breath. But the little casita never budged because the cactus was tough. Its roots were strong, and its long, sharp thorns were woven tightly together. Hey, it makes me think of the three little pigs. The last house that was built was made out of bricks. It was very sturdy and it was tough, right? And that wolf and the three little pigs couldn't get through that brick house. I know what I'll do, Señor Lobo said. If I can't blow this house to pieces, I'll climb down the chimney. The three little tamales will never know I'm coming. But when Señor Lobo climbed the top of the house, the cactus thorns pricked his paws. He yelped as he tiptoed across the roof. I got Nico a little excited there, huh? Hi, Nico. Señor Lobo is on the roof. He's coming down the chimney. What will we do? We'd better run, cried the first little tamale. We'd better hide, said the second little tamale. No, we won't, said the third little tamale. I'm not afraid of Señor Lobo. I know a better way to deal with him than running away and hiding. She told the others her plan. They agreed to help her. The three little tamales filled a pot with water and set it on the fire to boil. They heard Señor Lobo climbing down the chimney. Ay, 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 ay! He yelled. Splash! He fell into the pot of water. Clang! The three little tamales covered the pot with an iron lid. Let me out! Señor Lobo howled. No, we can't, the three little tamales replied. We're cooking wolf tamales for dinner. I don't want to be a tamale, Señor Lobo yelled. He jumped out of the pot, climbed back up the chimney, and ran across the roof. He didn't let the cactus thorn slow him down. He ran until he was out of sight, and he never came back. Señor Lobo was gone for good. The three little tamales never had to worry about him again. So they had a fiesta, and they invited all their friends to celebrate. And who were the friends who came to the fiesta of the three little tamales? Why, the runaway tortillas, of course. The end. So, did you all make connections with this book? Did you all make connections with the three little pigs? I sure do. Every time I read this, I find something that is similar to the three little tamales, and I also find things that are different. So it's always good to make connections when you are reading a book or somebody is reading a book to you. I hope you've enjoyed the story tonight, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.